Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. Merry Christmas everybody. I hope you're having an awesome day. Thought we'd do a Christmas video and I'm going to show you the rest of the Christmas cards that I made and sent out. So let's go ahead and have a look. Alright, so some of these you've seen before. So I'm going to start off with the ones you've seen, because obviously they have their own corresponding videos and you've already seen them. So I have my 3 Planners Anonymous cards that I made. So I've got the one with the snow globe, so pretty. The one with the stamps, which is probably my favourite, and then Ryan really likes the ones with the lights. I really love the way these 3 turned out, and I love that I can make, if I wanted to, I can sit here and bulk make these for the rest of the year, ready for next year, because the artwork's not going to go out of style. I've got so many copies of it, I can just go nuts. Love the PA digital kits, and these 3 cards were really good to come out of that. Other ones you have seen, you've seen this gorgeous Quokka, I still love this one, the Quokka one using Aussie Christmas 2 from Uniquely Creative. I love the cockatiels. Do you know what I really love though? It was funny, when I started seeing all the stuff that the other people who were guest designers or on the design team, they made these all real cockies. I just looked at them and thought they were cockatiels. It didn't even occur to me that they were sulfur-crested cockatoos, but that would work too. So I might have to go back and colour a few more of these as actual cockatoos, because yeah, maybe I kind of got my animals wrong. But I still love the way this one turned out. The more I look at this, the more I don't hate the red, orange, yellow combination that I went with the presents. I think it actually turned out okay in the end. But really cool. Now the rest of them you've seen probably in blog posts, or you've seen on my social medias, but you wouldn't have seen a video. There's no video relating to any of these ones. So the first one is another one that I made for Uniquely Creative for their design team. This was the very first one I made. This one's just a Merry Christmas toroo, which is just really cute. I love this kangaroo. I think he's adorable, and the little koala with the present. And all I did was just some ink blending around the outside. This one was featured on the Uniquely Creative blog. I will link it down below. You can go and check it out. But yeah, really loved. Very simple, very understated, but just so pretty with those gorgeous little stampies. And then while we're looking at those ones, this is another one I did using the same kangaroo. Really simple, this one. It was just, I used the star wreath, which was one of my favorites in November. I love this wreath. It makes beautiful cards. A really simple sentiment that came out of the cut apart and just the stamp, and it's that easy. It's just on a piece of black cardboard, done, no problem at all. Some of these are obviously faster than others, but that's what makes Christmas cards fun. You can do the crazy ones, which we see one crazy one in a minute. But like the review wheel, that took me 2 or 3 hours to do, whereas this took me 20 minutes. So you can't do all 2 or 3 hour cards, or you'd be here all year. This was another one that I had featured on the Uniquely Creative blog using the really gorgeous star wreath. The difference between this star wreath and this star wreath is that this one's obviously glitter cardstock and this one's out of metallic cardstock. But this one's only got 1 layer, whereas this one's actually got 2, might have 3 layers on it. And just gives it a nice little bit of bulk. It really sits up nicely on the page that way. And I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I love the gold. That's actually using foiling. It's using the mink ink and then running it through the foiler. Didn't think it would work. Did. Looks beautiful. Love that card. It's one of my favorites actually for the whole of Christmas. Another one that you have seen but wouldn't have seen anything on was the very simple ink blending tree that I did with my my metallic ink paint, watercolor paints. Not doing well with the words again today. Very simple, took me 2 minutes. It was just sort of ink. I just cut this out. This was a die. Used the reverse of the die as a mask. Inked it up with different colors. I think it's got pine needles and lucky clover. Bit of water, bit of paint, star, Merry Christmas, done. Like, it's so simple. So simple, but just speaks for itself with how stunning it is. I really love that one. So then I did a couple of slim lines. So this one was, it was something I kind of had in my head, and it didn't quite work out the way I meant it to, or that I wanted it to, but I still don't hate the result. I just don't love the result, if that makes sense. So I've got this is the Mr. and Mrs. Claus from Ho Ho Holidays, and the little elves from Holiday Helpers, and just the Christmas tree, I think from Christmas Dreams. I just had this sort of thought of the little circles popping out. I think my circles are too big. I think that might be where my problem is. I do really like this one. I think it's very pretty. I like the subtle shift of glitter that's sort of all over the Christmas baubles and the lights and the bow. But yeah, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but I still really like it. I think it's nice. Then while we're showing sort of Santa ones, so I've got there's Father Christmas from Ho Ho Holidays again, plus these two are from Ho Ho Holidays and this one's from Toboggan Together. But I love the gold on this. I just think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you'll do a colour with your Copics and it doesn't quite work. And I was watching a video and I don't remember who it was who showed me this trick, or showed everyone this trick. This is Y28, which is a really gold, hold on, I'll grab that Copic because it's sitting right here. It's called Linette Gold, and it looks gold in the Copic thing, but when you put it on paper, it kind of comes out looking a little bit green. It just doesn't ever look like gold to me. So what I did, and whoever it was that told me it was, I put in some like yellow underneath it. So I put Y15 below and then went over the top with the gold, and that gave me the gold color I was looking for. I then added a little bit of the gold shimmer pen or sparkle pen from Uniquely Creative, and that really cemented the gold. It looks really lovely. I also put just a little bit of glossy accents on the noses of the little reindeer, including my little Rudolph at the top. I love that Rudolph. Okay, 3 more to go. So this one was actually really heavily inspired by somebody else on the Uniquely Creative design team who used Aussie Christmas too. Her name's Ashley McGregor. I haven't actually seen her before, but I've now started following her because she makes such beautiful cards. So simple, so understated, but just looks absolutely beautiful with the little koala giving his gift and the stars from the wreath. This is the inside of the stars. Absolutely love the way this one turned out, even if I did get a little bit of glue all over the place. Just that little bit of gold just really, really pops, and I think it's absolutely stunning. And then this one is another really simple one. I think the closer I got to Christmas, the harder it was to sit there and make the really complicated cards. So I tried to pick things that were simple but were still going to look beautiful. And this one actually turned out, except for the fact that there's a little boo-boo with the card, turned out really pretty. So this is one of the birds from Cheery Christmas, as well as the tree and the ladder. I did the tree in, I think it's pine needles, but then I put some sparkle embossing powder over the top and heat set it, and it looks really, really pretty. It just, the way it catches the light, it almost looks like there's light on the tree, like lights in the tree. I put that on a background that's actually just made out of me flicking red paint, black paint and gold paint and just sort of moving it around, and that gave me my background. And then just the little star is actually another one of the Uniquely Creative wreath stars. Ryan says it looks like the bird can't quite reach the top of the tree, which he can't, but I still like the way where he sits. I think that's really pretty. The only boo-boo I made was I originally had the tree sitting a little bit further over to the left, and it stuck down a little bit quicker than I expected it to, and when I pulled it up, it tore a little bit of the paper, but you don't notice it enough for me to really worry about it, and I'm hoping it's pretty enough that whoever gets it doesn't notice it either, but they will now if they've watching this video at all. The very, very last one is another simple-ish kind of one, but just worked out really pretty. So this is just an ink blended background. It's emboss resist. So I put embossing powder down, which is all these presents. These are from the Uniquely Creative Aussie Christmas 2, I think. Might be the O Christmas Tree. I just stamped them down, white heat embossed them, and then inked over the top using, I think it's cracked pistachio, and there's another green in there. Might be Lucky Clover. And then I just flicked a little bit of Lucky Clover on the top with a little bit of water. That's it. So simple. Love the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly though. That's from O Christmas Tree. Really simple, but just pops, especially when you put it on a black. I love matching things with black and then putting on a white card. Because as much as black cards look fantastic, like that's gorgeous, but it's really hard to write on the inside. You've got to write on with a white pen or a silver pen or something. This way you get the cool impact of the black, but you still have the ease of writing on the white. So there we go. That was all of the rest of the Christmas cards that I made. Now I'm going to put a little disclaimer here. I'm filming this really early in December. I'm not filming this Christmas Day because obviously I need to put these all in the post, so they need to get there. So there may be some Christmas cards that I make on camera between now I'm filming and now when you see it. So if that's the case, obviously I will link them down below so you can go and check them out too, because there'll probably be a couple of extra cards that I make along the way. But these are all the ones that are being sent out to my friends and family. So there's my little disclaimer on the bottom. Like I said, the ones that I did at the end were probably a lot more simple than the ones I did before, but I think overall my Christmas stash actually worked out really nicely this year. I tried really hard not to use too many of the same things over and over and over again. I know a lot of people like to sort of mass produce the same card for everyone. I kind of do the opposite. I've got so much Christmas stuff in this house, in this room, that I sort of feel like I need to use as much of it as humanly possible, so I try not to overlap as often. But I still obviously did use a couple that were the same, so we've got 2 of these, and we've got the kangaroo appears a couple of times, and the koala, but it's the fun of the Copics. I can change it. So that's a koala coloured in warm greys, and that's one coloured in cool greys, and they basically look completely different. And I love that. I love that I can play with my Copic colours and make things look completely different. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. I'm not going to do my big old spiel at the end of this day. I'm just going to wish you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy whatever you happen to be doing, whether you're with family or not. Hope you have an absolutely awesome, awesome day, and I will catch you again in my next video. Sending big Christmas huggles. Bye!